Hello everyone, how have you been? I hope you have been well, and today I just want to share about my journey and how I got to become a U.S. registered nurse. I will later on share about how to become a U.S. registered nurse using various agencies and various ways. So today I'll just share my journey and let's get started. So I started this journey several years ago in 2017 August, and it has taken me quite a while. Some people take very few years or a shorter period of time, but my journey was a bit longer. But I believe everything happens for a good reason, and I can see the reason why it happened. So because I'm a believer and I believe God was with me, and the reasons He knew best why my journey took longer. So in 2017, I applied with Avant Healthcare Professionals, and the first screening exam that I did not perform, I did not meet the expectations. The pass mark was supposed to be 70%. I didn't think it was quite a tricky exam, so I didn't take time to read through or just concentrate, give it too much thought. So I got, I think, 64%, and I didn't meet the required pass mark. That was 70%. But later on, they told me that I can do an oral interview so that they can test me. And I did the oral interview and performed very well. So I was considered and recruited into the program. 2018 was just doing courses and trying to get my theory well, because our Kenyan system and the American system is very different. Kenyan system is much of, we do a lot of courses in nursing, and a lot of, it's more of technical, maybe that, and America is more of theory and critical. So their exam system is also very, very much different because they only have one main exam. In Kenya, we also have one main exam back then, and we used to do four main papers, four main subjects that had sub-subjects inside them. But the American way, they only do one main exam, and it depends. So I will share about it later on. So 2018 was basically getting also my papers transferred to the CGFNS, that is the Certification of Foreign Nurses program, because all my papers had to be screened so that they meet the required expectations according to the board of nursing that I was supposed to take the main examination with. So they all met the requirements, and they also took some fingerprints just to put into their database. And after the CGFNS, I continued studying up to 2019. That's when I was booked for my main exam. It's called the Nursing Council Licensure Exam, something like that. It's the NCLEX. It's a main exam that we have to do so that you can be able to work in the USA. And it's a very tricky exam. You really have to study. I really had to sacrifice a lot of my free time, a lot of my social time. Yeah, it's like being grounded. I really had to study a lot. And in 2019 August again, I went to India and took my NCLEX and passed. And I really do thank God for that. When your documents are taken for screening in the CGFNS, you can be given any board of examination. It's not necessarily that you go to work in that state. you can just be given that board, you can be given that state as your state of assignment, or you can be given another state. So it's not necessarily that the board that you are given is the one that you will end up living in. It's just a board to be able to certify you. And so now after NCLEX, that was 2019, around December, my green card was filed, and it took 2 weeks. It's called the 140 for it to be approved. And after the green card or the I-140 is approved, it's now taken to the National Visa Council, the NVC, so that you can be given the embassy exam, the embassy interview date. So it took like 3 months for my case to go to NBC. And after NBC, around March, I got a case complete. That means that now your case is complete, you have been approved, and now the only thing that you are waiting for is the embassy to give you a date. I was so excited, and I knew 2020 was my year, and I would go and I would come to the US and I would practice. But shock on me, retrogression happened. It happened, and this means that there's a time that the embassy stops issuing visas to people due to unknown reasons, probably due to backlog. Maybe they are overwhelmed and they have to attend to other issues that are more emergency. And retrogression happened in Kenya, and I think most of the world and most people are not going for the embassy interviews, and it happened the whole of 2020 up to from around February, I think, up to October. Then lockdown happened because of COVID. So it became even more worse. So around October, retrogression in Kenya and several countries ended, and we knew now it's our time to shine, and now we can go. But shock, there was a lot of backlog, and now we really had to pray. I was praying every day that God favors me and gives our cases priorities, so that, because it's a dream we have been praying for, so that we can come. And 2020, we finished 2020, we came to 2021, and January nothing happened. And around February, one day I woke up and I found the NVC mail to invite me for the embassy interview, and I was so excited. So after you get the interview date, you have to contact IOM, that is the International Organization for Migration, so that you can get your medical examination done, because it's a requirement as a permanent resident to go through IOM and get your medical examination done before you do the embassy interview. So we booked a date, and within a day you were given a date. That even made me so happy. Then I remember that week I was also booked for an interview in a state, in my preferred state of assignment. So that Monday, the IOM, I was supposed to go to IOM on Tuesday. So that Monday, I was supposed to do my interview, and it was scheduled for 10 p.m. Kenyan time. And I remember I was all prepared, and it was a video call. I had really revised, I knew my material, and I was so ready for the interview. And I sat there, it was 10 p.m. So one of my recruiters called me, and she just reassured me it's gonna be okay. And we stayed there. We stayed 10 p.m, nothing. 10:15, nothing. So she decided to call the hospital and ask them what is happening. Then they told her that they had gotten an emergency and they couldn't do my interview that day. Oh, I felt so bad. I felt so frustrated. Yeah. Because I was so ready and I really wanted to nail this interview. It was like 4 hours from where my friend lives in that state, and I was so over the moon because I would be able to visit her even if it is that far. And so when it was cancelled, I really felt so bad. So I said, it's okay, let me think about my IOM tomorrow. So on Tuesday we went to IOM, but I had this anxious feeling. I was not at peace and I felt something would go wrong, and it actually went wrong. My husband and I, all our medical results were okay, but my chest x-ray was really bad, and IOM could not release my results to the embassy. When my x-ray is bad, they had to do further investigations, and that day I really cried and I felt this journey has been so long, has been so crazy, and now I'm on the last lap. It's even crazier. Yesterday my interview was cancelled. Today my chest x-ray is bad. I was given an interview of by March 23rd I should have gone to the embassy, and by May I should have come to Florida, and now everything is just falling apart because IOM told me they had to take 8 weeks to do further investigations, and I had to go for 3 days every morning to take my specimen. So I had to do it, and that was also another added cost. That it's okay, but I prayed and my family reassured me, God reassured me, and it was okay. So my recruiting agency reassured me that it's gonna be okay. They will still look for a hospital for me because they know I'm on the last lap and I should have a facility as soon as possible. So within a week, I got another assignment invitation, and I read the email, and it was that name of the hospital. I remembered it in my mind. I had seen it somewhere. So I decided to text my friend, hi, do you work in this facility? The friend that I thought I would visit when I went to live in that state, but was 4 hours from the facility that cancelled on me. And she said, yes, I work in this facility. I told her, imagine I have been given an interview in your hospital. Then that same night, that same day, my other best friend, whom we were with during this whole process, and she's still with Avant, also told me, imagine what, I have gotten an email and have been told I will interview with this facility. I told her, me too, and our other friend works there. And I was like, wow, see God. I was so over the moon because that's why all the delay was happening, so that he would make a vacant position for us, so that we would end up together, not only in the same state, but the same facility. And I was so out by God's faithfulness, because we would joke with my best friend and tell each other, what if we end up in the same state? What if we end up in the same facility? But it was just a random joke and just random prayers. But you know what? God listens to all prayers. It may be a random prayer, but God takes it into detail and into his mind. And we ended up doing that interview and we nailed it and we got that job, and that's where we are working now. And I'm just so humbled by God's faithfulness. So after that, I waited for almost 3 months for IOM to release my results, and thankfully to God, the results came well, and we were able to attend the embassy interview with my husband, and we did well, and we were able to eventually come. But between all that, there were so many hardships and so many things that made me want to give up, made us want to give up, but we still held on to our dream and why we wanted to come. Because even after IOM, really getting a date in the embassy again, we really had to keep on writing them emails, because we wrote to them an email at first. They gave us a date very far away, and our results would have expired from the medical, from IOM. And so we had to really pray for it, about it, and to really plead with them that we need an interview as soon as possible, because if we don't do an interview, then we will go back to IOM. And I don't know if we go back to IOM, if my x-ray, because it wouldn't have changed if I will go back the vicious cycle. I get a bad x-ray, I get to be given more weeks for further investigation, and we continue doing that and that, round and round, and we end up not going anywhere. So we prayed about it, and God is so faithful. He gave us his right time, and we were able to travel. We came to Florida for like 5 weeks. Avant usually gives a transition program. During those 5 weeks, you go to the skills lab, you learn a lot, learn more of the American way and their systems, how medication is given, how IV fluids are given, because it's actually very different from Kenya. It's different, but it's good. We learn. And during those 5 weeks, you also take your driving classes and are able to get your driving license. You look for a car, you look for an apartment, so that when you go to your assignment, you are ready. You just go and pay for your apartment, pay for your car, and start life. And that's where we are today. If you are considering being a USRN, it is worth it. The journey might not be easy, because my mom always tells me nothing good comes from an easy path. Yeah, and if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So if you are already in this journey, know that you are brave, you are amazing, and you will make it. It doesn't matter how long you take, you will make it eventually. It's about the destination. In between is crazy, but the destination will come when God and his appointed time comes. Because you can't, if it is not God's time, even if you do what and scream and do what, it will not come. But if it is God's time, everything will fall into place, and he will give you the best of the best, and he will definitely restore everything. Because all that time I took back in Kenya wondering what was happening, why was my journey taking long, because there are some friends who started the journey even after me, but they made it to their destination earlier than me. And sometimes I would wonder, okay, it's not good to compare, but as a human being, you can wonder, okay, what is not happening? But it's okay. It's because everyone has their own timing, everyone has their own road, and everyone has their own blessings. So if you are considering, if you're already in the journey, continue holding on, continue believing that one day it will come to be true, and it will be even more better than you ever envisioned it, you ever imagined. Because to me, it is much more abundant, more abundantly and exceedingly above all that I ever imagined. Living in the same place with my friend, and the other friend lives like 2 minutes away, just 2 minutes. We cook in her place and we just come to eat in anyone's place, just 2 minutes. And the other friend just lives upstairs. That is just more than I ever imagined. So you will make it, and it's always worth it. So I will definitely share about life after, how to navigate being a new nurse. I'm still navigating. I don't know. I'm still trying to navigate, trying to understand things, trying to know people, trying to just cope. And until next time, bye bye, and thank you.